What if I told you that the things you enjoy, those little quirks that set you apart, might just be the mark of a true Sigma male? Have you ever noticed that while others chase attention, status, and validation, you prefer the road less traveled? Picture this as a crowded party filled with loud conversations, flashing lights, and people trying to one-up each other. In the middle of it all, there's one guy, calm, composed, unbothered. He's in his own world, not seeking approval, not playing the guy. He's a Sigma male. And while everyone else is caught up in the noise, he finds satisfaction in something completely different, something rare. Sigmas don't just walk a different path, they pave their own. The things they like aren't just different, they're uncommon, things the average person might never even consider. And today we're diving deep into 8 of these uncommon things that only true Sigma males appreciate. As Carl Jung once said, the privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. And Sigmas embody this to the core. If you've ever felt different, independent, or like you don't quite fit the mold, you need to stick around because this video is for you. Hit that like button and subscribe to join the Sigma community where we don't just exist, we thrive. Now let's dive in. 1. Solitude over socializing. Most people fear solitude, mistaking it for loneliness. But Sigma males, they thrive in it. While society is obsessed with social validation, constantly refreshing notifications, seeking approval through fleeting interactions, Sigmas are busy mastering themselves. For them, solitude isn't an escape. It's a weapon. Imagine this. The average person spends nearly 2.5 hours daily on social media, scrolling through an endless sea of opinions, memes, and distractions. Meanwhile, the Sigma male is locked in, deep in thought, reading a book that expands his mind, refining his craft, or strategizing his next move. He doesn't need applause to know his worth. His self-esteem isn't outsourced. It's forged in silence. Psychological studies reveal that solitude enhances creativity and problem-solving skills. Steve Jobs, Nikola Tesla, and even Albert Einstein, great minds who embraced isolation, used it as a tool for breakthroughs. Similarly, Sigma males understand that when the noise of the world fades, true genius emerges. But don't mistake this for weakness. Sigmas aren't antisocial, they're selectively social. They value deep, meaningful connections over superficial interactions. While others chase popularity, a Sigma builds his empire in silence, allowing his results to speak for themselves. In a world that fears being alone, the Sigma male turns solitude into power. And when he finally steps into the world, he does so with a presence that commands respect, because he spent his time wisely, evolving into his highest self. 2. Depth over superficiality. Most people thrive on small talk. It's a social lubricant, a way to ease tension and build rapport. But for Sigma males, it's a tedious exercise in wasted breath, talking about the weather, last night's reality TV drama, or what so-and-so wore to an event. That's a hard pass. Sigmas crave meaningful dialogue, conversations that unravel deeper truths, challenge ideas, and stimulate intellectual curiosity. Have you ever found yourself mentally checking out during a conversation about celebrity gossip? That's because your brain is wired differently. You seek substance, you don't just want to talk. You want to connect. Small talk feels like static noise, empty, repetitive, and ultimately unfulfilling. This is precisely why Sigma males often prefer listening over speaking. Unlike the typical extrovert who talks to fill silence, Sigmas embrace it. They observe, analyze, and absorb before offering their words. And when they do speak, their words carry weight. A single well-crafted sentence from a Sigma can hold more value than an entire evening of mindless chatter. This trait makes them enigmatic. People often wonder, what's he thinking? But that air of mystery isn't intentional. It's just a byproduct of valuing depth over superficiality. Sigmas would rather discuss philosophy, psychology, or personal growth than engage in empty pleasantries. And when they do find someone who matches their intellectual wavelength, that's when the real magic happens. Conversations become electric, full of insights, revelations, and meaningful exchanges. That's the Sigma way. 3. Minimalism less is more. In a world that equates success with luxury, Sigma males stand apart, embracing minimalism as a way of life. They understand a profound truth. Possessions don't define a man. Purpose does. Unlike the masses chasing the next luxury car, designer brand, or extravagant home to validate their status, Sigmas view material things as tools, not trophies. Their philosophy is simple. If it doesn't serve a function or bring genuine value, it's just clutter. This isn't just about owning fewer things. It's about mastering self-sufficiency. A Sigma male doesn't seek validation through external wealth because his sense of worth is internal. Studies in psychology reveal that excessive materialism often leads to stress and dissatisfaction, while minimalism fosters clarity, independence, and peace of mind. Sigmas tap into this wisdom effortlessly. Look at historical icons like Nikola Tesla or modern-day entrepreneurs who reject the traditional path. They focus on intellectual growth, experiences, and personal freedom rather than accumulating material goods. The Sigma understands that the more possessions you have, the more they own you, tying you to debt, maintenance, and social expectations. Instead of spending thousands on a luxury watch, a Sigma invests in skills, knowledge, and experiences that expand his autonomy. His wealth isn't in objects, it's in adaptability and freedom. At the end of the day, true power isn't in having more, it's in needing less. The Sigma male embodies this principle, proving that minimalism isn't deprivation, it's liberation. 4. Being an observer, not a performer. In a world where social media feeds are meticulously curated and everyone is desperate for likes, comments, and virtual applause, Sigma males remain an enigma. While the majority chase validation, Sigmas sit back, quietly observing the spectacle. They're not impressed by flashy displays of wealth or status. Instead, they analyze the psychology behind them. This observational nature makes them incredibly sharp. They understand human behavior at a level most don't. Why? Because while others are performing, they're studying. A Sigma male can walk into a room and within minutes assess the social dynamics at play. Who's seeking approval? Who's being deceptive? Who's insecure behind their bravado? They see through facades with almost surgical precision. This ability gives them a distinct edge. Since they don't crave external validation, they're free from the pressures that control most people. This makes them unpredictable, and unpredictability is a form of power. In psychology, predictability can be linked to dominance and influence. When people can't pin you down, they're forced to respect you, or at the very least, remain cautious around you. In warfare, predictability has always been a weapon. Think of Sun Tzu's Art of War. Be extremely subtle, even to the point of formlessness. Sigmas embody this philosophy effortlessly, while others move predictably. Driven by ego and social expectations, Sigmas adapt and operate outside the norm. This ability allows them to navigate life with an almost chess-like strategy, staying 5 steps ahead of the game, without ever having to play it. 5. Mastery over mediocrity. Sigmas aren't wired for mediocrity. They pursue mastery like a predator locked onto its prey. Good enough isn't in their vocabulary. Whether it's honing a skill, expanding their knowledge, or perfecting their craft, Sigmas operate with a relentless drive to push beyond limits. While the average person might spend hours scrolling through social media or watching mindless entertainment, Sigmas see time as their most valuable asset. They understand that success isn't a matter of luck. It's a matter of discipline. That's why they dedicate themselves to learning, training, and refining their expertise. A Sigma doesn't just read a book. He absorbs its wisdom. He doesn't just practice a skill. He refines it until he can execute it flawlessly. This mindset is rooted in an age-old truth. Aristotle famously said, "We are what we repeatedly do." Excellence, then, is not an act but a habit. Sigmas embody this principle by turning self-improvement into a daily ritual. Whether it's coding, martial arts, investing, or philosophy, they don't just participate, they dominate. Take figures like Elon Musk or Bruce Lee. Both had Sigma tendencies. Musk didn't settle for just knowing about rockets. He devoured textbooks and engineered his own. Bruce Lee didn't just practice martial arts. He revolutionized it. That's the Sigma approach, learning until they redefine the very thing they set out to master. While the world settles for mediocrity, Sigmas chase greatness, and that's what makes them stand out. 6. Independence over conformity. Sigmas don't follow trends. They create them. They don't seek approval, they approve themselves. This isn't just a mindset, it's a way of life that sets them apart from the crowd. In a world where most people conform to societal blueprints, Sigmas prefer to be architects of their own destiny. This is why they often reject conventional paths. The typical 9-to-5 grind. A Sigma sees it as a cage, limiting their potential. They value freedom over security, choosing to build independent careers, master unique skills, or even create businesses that align with their vision rather than someone else's. They understand that financial success doesn't require a corporate ladder. It requires strategy, self-discipline, and a refusal to settle. Societal expectations. Sigmas don't live for validation. While others chase status symbols, flashy cars, expensive suits, social media clout, Sigmas are too busy refining their craft and pursuing their passions. They measure success differently, by how much control they have over their time, energy, and ambitions. And groupthink, that's the enemy of a Sigma's mind. They refuse to blindly follow trends, political correctness, or herd mentality. Instead, they think critically, question norms, and embrace intellectual independence. This is why they often seem ahead of their time. What the world ridicules today, a Sigma may have already pioneered years ago. Living on their own terms is what makes Sigmas magnetic. They exude an aura of mystery, confidence, and self-assurance that naturally draws others in. People may not always understand them, but they can't ignore them. A Sigma doesn't adapt to the world eventually adapts to them. 7. Mystery over transparency. Sigmas are an enigma, a puzzle wrapped in quiet confidence. While the world rushes to broadcast every detail of their lives on social media, the Sigma male operates in a different realm, one of strategic silence. He doesn't reveal his every thought, plan, or feeling because he understands something most people don't. Mystery is power. Psychologists call this the pratfall effect. The idea that people are more attractive when they aren't completely transparent. The unknown triggers curiosity. A Sigma's restraint makes people lean in, wondering what he's thinking and what his next move is. This calculated ambiguity isn't just a quirk. It's a survival skill, keeping him one step ahead. Take historical figures like Bruce Lee or Steve Jobs. Both men who spoke only when necessary, choosing impact over excess. Their mystique made them captivating. Similarly, a Sigma knows that withholding information isn't deception, it's discipline. He picks his words like a master strategist, picks his battles, ensuring every revelation serves a purpose. In a world where attention is currency, the Sigma male's silence is his wealth. He doesn't beg for recognition. Instead, his aura of mystery does the talking, pulling people in without him saying a word. 8. Self-sufficiency, the ultimate freedom. Sigma males don't chase external validation. They cultivate internal fulfillment. While society conditions most people to seek approval through status, relationships, or material possessions, Sigmas master the art of independence. Their sense of self isn't dictated by others' opinions, trends, or societal expectations. Instead, they build their own standards, chart their own paths, and create their own success. Think of historical outliers like Nikola Tesla or Steve Jobs, men who operated outside conventional structures yet changed the world. They didn't conform. They innovated. Sigma males embody the same principle in their daily lives. They don't need a social group to feel significant or a leadership title to exert influence. Their power comes from self-reliance, skill mastery, and quiet confidence. This is why they stand apart. While others form tribes for identity and strength, Sigmas function as lone wolves, not out of necessity but by choice. They find fulfillment in their work, ideas, and solitude, making them unpredictable and enigmatic. In a world obsessed with belonging, they redefine what it means to be whole. A Sigma doesn't follow the crowd. He doesn't seek validation, because he is, and always has been, complete within himself. Sigmas, if you resonated with this, it's because you're wired differently. You were never meant to blend in. You were born to stand out. Hit that like button, subscribe, and join this community of lone wolves who are shaping their own destiny. Apply these Sigma qualities to your life and watch how everything changes. Having said this,